The message hit my phone at exactly 2:47 p.m. on a Tuesday afternoon. No name attached, no explanation, just 8 short words that made my chest tighten instantly. Your wife is at the Hilton, room 1847. I froze in the middle of a client meeting, staring down at my screen while the blood seemed to drain from my face. The downtown Hilton was barely 20 minutes from my office and about half an hour from our house, the same house where my wife had told me she'd be working from home all day. My hands started to shake as I typed back a single question: who is this? 3 dots appeared, vanished, then came the reply: someone who thought you should know. I could have jumped in my car right then. I could have driven straight to the hotel, taken the elevator to the 18th floor, and burst into room 1847 like some cliché scene out of a bad movie. But instead of doing any of that, I chose a different move entirely. I picked up my phone and called the highest-rated florist in Columbus and ordered a dozen red roses. The woman on the line asked, "What would you like the card to say?" I smiled, though there was no real emotion behind it. "To my darling wife," I said carefully, dictating each word. "Congratulations on your promotion. I'm so proud of you. Love, Victor." There was a long pause on the other end of the call. Then she asked, cautiously, "Sir, you said this is for your wife?" I told her yes, room 1847 at the downtown Hilton, and asked that the delivery be made in exactly 1 hour. "And the name again?" she asked. "Victor," I replied. "Victor Lin. Her boss." Another pause followed, heavier this time. "Oh, okay, sir," she said. "We'll make sure it's delivered." After I hung up, I glanced at my watch. 1 hour until those roses reached the room. 1 hour until my wife opened a card signed with another man's name. And 1 hour until Victor Lin, her married boss, who had no idea I knew any of this, received a phone call that would wipe out his career. If you want to know what happened when those flowers arrived, hit subscribe, because what came next made the affair look like the smallest of her problems. My name is Julian Harper. I'm 39 years old, and I work as a data analyst for a healthcare company in Columbus, Ohio. I know, that doesn't exactly sound thrilling. Most days, I'm buried in spreadsheets, running queries, and looking for patterns in numbers that would put most people to sleep. But here's the thing about being a data analyst: once you train your brain to see patterns, you start seeing them everywhere. In numbers. In habits. In behavior. And in lies. For about 3 months, I'd been noticing patterns in my wife's actions that simply didn't line up. Her name is Clara. We've been married for 8 years. She's a marketing director at a mid-sized pharmaceutical company. She's smart, driven, and beautiful. When we first met, I was a junior analyst making $45,000 a year. She was a marketing coordinator earning about the same. We built our life together slowly and deliberately. We paid off student loans, saved for a down payment, and eventually bought a modest house in Clintonville. We weren't wealthy, but we were stable, and that mattered to both of us. Then, 2 years ago, everything shifted. She got promoted to marketing director, landed a $120,000 salary, a company car, and an expense account. After that, she started traveling more. Late nights became common. Conferences, client dinners, work trips. And honestly, I was proud of her. I truly was. I picked up more chores around the house. I didn't complain when she missed dinner or walked through the door close to midnight. I supported her career because that's what you do when you love someone. But about 3 months ago, something changed. The first signs were subtle. A new perfume, expensive, unfamiliar. New clothes I'd never seen before. She started going to the gym at strange hours, 6 in the morning before work, or 9 at night after dinner. Her phone behavior changed too. It used to sit on the kitchen counter while she cooked. Now it never left her side. Always face down. Always locked. Then she started buying things I'd never seen before. I found the receipt in her purse while searching for her insurance card. Victoria's Secret. $340. And I never once saw her wear any of it. Then came the work trips. Chicago for a 2-night conference. Atlanta for a 3-night client meeting. Indianapolis for a so-called strategy session. One night. I'm a data analyst. Analyzing is what I do. So I started tracking. I reviewed her credit card statements. We shared a joint account for household expenses, but she'd opened a separate card for work-related costs. The numbers didn't add up. Hotel charges that didn't match her stated travel schedule. Restaurant bills for two at places where she'd told me she ate alone. Uber rides that dropped her off at addresses I didn't recognize. I built a spreadsheet. Dates. Locations. Expenses. Her explanations. Once everything was laid out, the pattern was impossible to ignore. My wife was betraying our marriage. I didn't confront her, not yet. 8 years of marriage had taught me one important lesson: people lie when they feel trapped. They deny, deflect, gaslight, and make you question your own sanity. I didn't want excuses. I needed proof, real, undeniable proof. So I did what made sense to me. I collected more data. I installed a GPS tracker on her car. One of those small magnetic ones you can order online for $40. I wasn't proud of it, but I needed answers. And that tracker told me everything. The Hilton downtown, multiple visits, always on weekday afternoons. A condo in the short north, 3 visits in 2 weeks. A restaurant in Grandview where she'd claimed to have a solo working lunch. The GPS showed her car parked in the back lot for nearly 2 hours. I cross-checked the condo address using public records. It belonged to Victor Lin. Victor Lin was 44 years old, married, with 2 kids. He'd been with the company for 15 years and was the vice president of marketing, Clara's direct supervisor. He drove a Tesla, lived in a $500,000 condo, posted polished family photos on LinkedIn, and he was crossing lines with my wife. I could have confronted them. I could have called his wife. I could have gone straight to HR. But I don't think that way. I think in systems. I knew if I acted too quickly, they'd protect each other. They'd deny everything. It would turn into one word against another. So I waited. I documented everything. I tracked movements. I built my case the same way I'd prepare a presentation for senior leadership. Then, on that Tuesday afternoon, the text arrived: "Your wife is at the Hilton, room 1847. I stared at the message, my heart pounding. Someone else knew. I typed back, "Who is this?" The reply came almost instantly: "Someone who thought you should know." I tried calling the number. Straight to voicemail. No greeting. I sat alone in my office, thoughts racing. Was it a coworker? A friend? Victor's wife? It didn't matter anymore. What mattered was this: I finally had real-time information. Room 1847. Right now. I could have driven straight to the hotel. I could have walked in and confirmed everything. But that wasn't the move I made. I don't operate on impulse. I never have. I'm the kind of guy who plans first and executes second. So instead of grabbing my car keys, I opened my laptop and went to the Hilton's website. Room 1847 was listed as a junior suite. 1 king bed. City view. $280 per night. I pulled up Clara's credit card statement. There it was: Hilton downtown Columbus, $280. Charged 3 hours earlier. She'd told me she was working from home today. I glanced at the clock. 2:52 p.m. Then I picked up my phone and dialed the top florist in the city. Petal and stem florist, this is Naomi. How can I help you? Hi, Naomi, I said. I need a dozen red roses delivered today. Absolutely. What's the occasion? It's a surprise for my wife, I replied. She just got promoted. Oh, that's wonderful, she said. Where should we send them? The downtown Hilton, I answered. Room 1847. There was a brief pause. A hotel room? Yes, I said calmly. She's celebrating there with coworkers, and I want to surprise her. That's so sweet, Naomi said. And what would you like the card to say? I took a slow breath. To my darling wife. Congratulations on your promotion. I'm so proud of you. Love, Victor. The line went quiet. I'm sorry, she said carefully. Did you say Victor? Yes. Victor Lin. That's her boss. He's the one who promoted her, and I want him to get the credit. Another pause, longer this time. Sir, she said slowly, you said this is for your wife? That's correct. But you want the card to be signed by her boss? Yes, I said. Is that a problem? No, she replied. I just want to make sure I've got it right. You do, I said. To my darling wife. Congratulations on your promotion. I'm so proud of you. Love, Victor. And you'd like it delivered in exactly 1 hour? Yes, please. We can do that, she said. Perfect. I gave her my credit card information, thanked her, and ended the call. Then I leaned back in my chair and smiled. Because in exactly 1 hour, my wife was going to read a card signed by the man she was cheating with. And when she did, she was going to panic. I didn't leave the office. I didn't drive anywhere. I just waited. At 3:47 p.m., my phone buzzed. Hey, babe. How's your day going? I stared at the screen. The casual tone. The lie packed neatly into every word. Good, I typed back. Busy. How's working from home? Productive, she replied. Just wrapped up a big presentation. Might take a break and go for a walk. A walk. Right. I didn't answer. At 4:03 p.m., my phone rang. Clara. I let it ring 3 times before picking up. Hey, I said, keeping my voice even. Julian, she said. Her voice sounded tight. Strained. Where are you? At the office, I said. Why? Did you send me flowers? Flowers? I said. No. Why would I send you flowers at home if you're working? I'm not, she stopped. I mean, yes, I am home. Oh, I said. Then what's going on? Someone sent flowers. That's nice, I said lightly. Secret admirer? They were delivered to, she cut herself off. It doesn't matter. The card is strange. Strange how? She hesitated. It says they're from Victor. Your boss, Victor? Yes. Huh, I said. That is odd. Maybe it's just a work thing. Didn't you say you've been on a big project with him? Yes, but, her voice trailed off. It's just weird. Well, I said, maybe he's just being generous. You know how corporate types are. Always sending gifts. Silence. Julian, she said finally, I need to ask you something. Sure. Do you know where I am right now? I paused. Let the silence stretch. You said you're working from home, I said. Yes. I am. Then why are you asking? No reason, she said quickly. Never mind. I'll see you tonight. Okay, I said. Love you. She hesitated. Love you too. The call ended. I set my phone down and took a slow breath. Phase 1 was done. At 4:47 p.m., my phone rang again. This time, it was a number I didn't recognize. Hello? I answered. Is this Julian Harper? A woman asked. Her voice was tight. Controlled. Angry. Yes, I said. Who's this? This is Linda Lin. Victor's wife. My heart rate jumped, but I kept my voice steady. Oh. Hi, Linda. Is everything all right? No, she said. Everything is not all right. I could hear her breathing hard. I just got a very interesting phone call from my husband. Oh? He's at the downtown Hilton, she said. Apparently someone sent flowers to his room. Flowers addressed to my darling wife and signed with his name. That is strange, I said. Strange, she snapped. It's a message. Someone knows he's there. Someone knows he's with your wife. I stayed silent. Did you send those flowers? She demanded. Did you send them? Why would I do that? I asked. Because your wife is involved with my husband. The words hung between us. I let the silence sit. Then I said quietly, I know. She exhaled sharply. How long? 3 months, I said. Maybe longer. And you didn't tell me? I didn't know how, I said. I didn't have proof. Just patterns. Patterns? I'm a data analyst, I said. I notice changes. Her behavior shifted. I started tracking. Tracking, she repeated. Credit cards. GPS hotel stays. I've been building a case. Another pause. You sent the flowers, she said. I did. Why? Because I wanted them to panic, I said. I wanted them to know someone was watching. I wanted to see how they'd react. She laughed a sharp, bitter sound. You're smarter than you look. Thanks, I said. I think. So what's your plan? She asked. I'm still figuring that out, I said. What's yours? I'm going to expose everything, she said flatly. I'm taking the house, the kids, and his reputation. Everyone at that company will know exactly what he did. That sounds fair, I said. What about me? I thought for a moment. I'm still deciding. Well, decide quickly, she said. I'm filing for divorce tomorrow. When I do, this is all going to explode. Good, I said. Let it. That night, Clara came home at 6:30 p.m. She looked shaken. Pale. Her hands trembled as she dropped her purse by the door. Hey, I said from the couch. How was your day? Fine, she said, not meeting my eyes. Mine was productive, I said. Got a lot done. She nodded and went into the kitchen, poured herself a glass of wine. I watched from the couch, my laptop open, a spreadsheet glowing on the screen. She returned to the living room, glass in hand. What are you working on? Just some data analysis, I said. Nothing exciting. She sat on the far end of the couch. The space between us felt enormous. Julian, she said quietly, I need to tell you something. My heart started pounding, but I kept my face neutral. Okay, she said. She took a slow breath. I've been unhappy. Unhappy? I repeated. In our marriage, she said. For a while now. I closed my laptop and turned fully toward her. Why didn't you say anything? I don't know, she admitted. I kept telling myself it would pass. But it didn't. So what are you saying? I asked. She looked at me, her eyes glossy. I think we should separate. There it was. No apology. No confession. Just a clean exit. I nodded once. Okay. She blinked, clearly thrown off. Okay? That's it? If that's what you want. You're not going to fight me? Would it change anything? I asked. She looked away. No. Probably not. Then what's the point of fighting? She wiped at her eyes. I'm sorry, Julian. You're a good man. You deserve better. Yeah, I said quietly. I do. 3 days later, she moved out. She packed her clothes, her laptop, her toiletries. She left behind the furniture, the dishes, and the life we'd built together. She didn't say where she was going. I didn't ask. I already knew. The GPS tracker on her car showed her driving straight to Victor's condo in the short north. A week later, Linda Lynn filed for divorce. It wasn't quiet or discreet. It was explosive. She didn't just submit paperwork, she sent an email to the entire executive team at Victor's company. The subject line read, regarding Victor Lynn's conduct. In that email, she laid out everything. The affair. Clara's name. Dates. Hotel stays. Documentation. She copied HR, legal, and the CEO. By noon, Victor was placed on administrative leave. By 5 o'clock that evening, he was fired for violating the company's ethics policy. Clara was called into HR the following day. She wasn't terminated outright, but she was strongly encouraged to resign. She did. 2 weeks later, she called me. Julian, we need to talk. About what? About everything, she said. The separation. The house. I want to make this as easy as possible. Okay, I said. I'm not asking for much, she continued. Just half the home equity and half of our savings. I think that's fair. Fair, I repeated. Yes. We built this life together. We should split it evenly. I was quiet for a moment. Then I asked, Clara, do you know why I sent those flowers? Silence. What? She said. The flowers at the Hilton, I said. Do you know why I sent them? Her voice turned cold. That was you? Yes. Why? Because I wanted you to know that I knew, I said. I wanted you to panic. I wanted to see if you'd come clean. Julian. You didn't, I continued. You lied. You came home and lied to my face. I was going to tell you. When? I asked. After you moved in with Victor? After you lined everything up and made your exit? She didn't answer. I have everything, Clara, I said. GPS logs. Credit card statements. Hotel records. Texts. I've been documenting this for 3 months. You were spying on me, she said, her voice shaking. I was protecting myself. From what? From this, I said. From you trying to take half of everything when you're the one who destroyed our marriage. Ohio is a no-fault state, she said weakly. It is, I agreed. But fault still matters for alimony. And it matters for public record. I let that sink in. Do you really want me to file a fault-based divorce citing adultery? I asked. Do you want all of this entered into the public record? Silence. Here's what's going to happen, I said calmly. You take your car, your clothes, and your personal belongings. I keep the house. We split the savings 50-50. No alimony. No support. Clean break. That's not fair, she said. Fair? I laughed softly, shaking my head. You want to talk about fair? You slept with your married boss. You charged hotel rooms to our joint credit card. You lied to me for months. And now you want fair? Sign the papers, Clara, I said, calm, steady. Or I'll proceed with the legal options available to me, your family, your friends, your next employer. Every last person who needs to know. You wouldn't, she said. She did. She signed. 60 days later, the divorce was finalized. I kept the house. We split the savings. No alimony. Clean break. Clara moved in with Victor, who was unemployed, drowning in his own brutal divorce, facing a lawsuit from his ex-wife over misused assets. Turns out he'd been using joint funds to pay for the same hotel rooms. Linda Lynn didn't just file papers, she took him for everything. 6 months later, I was in my home office, the one that used to be ours, when an email arrived from the same unknown number that had texted me that Tuesday. Hope the flowers worked out. A friend. I stared at it for a long moment. Then I typed back. They did. Thank you. Who are you? An hour later, the reply came. Someone who's been where you are. Someone who knows that good people deserve the truth. Stay strong. D. I never found out who sent it. Doesn't matter. Whoever it was, they gave me a push. Proof I could act on. The chance to take control. To tell my story on my terms. A year later, I'm still in the Clintonville house. I got promoted senior data analyst, $95,000 a year. I started dating again, slowly, carefully. Her name is Naomi. She's a teacher. She's honest, kind, and thinks my spreadsheets are adorable. We met at a coffee shop. She didn't know me, didn't know my history, and that was perfect. She just liked me for me. And that was enough. Sometimes, late at night, I still think about that text. Your wife is at the Hilton, room 1847. 8 words. 8 words that changed everything. I could have ignored it. I could have convinced myself it was nothing. But I didn't. I acted. Not in anger. Not with violence. With strategy. I sent flowers with a card that said everything I needed it to say without ever speaking a word. And then I watched the truth do its work. People ask me if I regret it. If I wish I'd done things differently. I don't. Because this is what I learned. When someone betrays you, you have a choice. You can sit back, let them lie, let them gaslight you, let them walk away with half of everything you built. Or you can take control. You can gather evidence. Build a case. Plan your move. Execute it flawlessly. You can send a dozen red roses with a card that simply says, I know. And watch them panic. Clara and Victor didn't last. 8 months after my divorce, they were gone. Lies don't survive when the truth comes knocking. She moved to Cleveland. Started over. Got a new job. Heard through mutual friends that she's okay. I hope she is. Not because I forgive her, not because I care, but because she's at chapter 1 closed. And now, I'm busy writing the next one. If you've ever received a message that changed everything. If you've ever had to decide between rage and strategy. If you've ever had to say more with a card than you could with words. Comment I know and hit subscribe. Sometimes, the best revenge isn't loud. It's quiet. It's measured. It's a dozen red roses. And a card with the wrong name.